Have you ever felt like there's a vivid fire burning inside of you, yearning to break free and illuminate your life? That, my friend, is your vibrant life waiting to bloom. Welcome to the Vibrant Life Podcast. We are here to empower women just like you to liberate that vibrant life, to live authentically, and to harness the power within.
Our journey will take us through the enlightening realms of energy healing, goal setting, spiritual awakening, and so much more. We're stepping into the light of self-acceptance, of owning our power and potential.
If you have been yearning to dive headfirst into the world of entrepreneurship, or awaken your spirituality, or simply make peace with yourself, your search ends here at the Vibrant Life Podcast. As we embark on this enlightening journey together, we promise to hold your hand through every step of your journey to a more vibrant life.
Your adventure to true empowerment and authentic living begins here. Tap into the vibrant life you've always dreamed of. Subscribe now and join us at the Vibrant Life Podcast. Embrace your vibrant self. Until then, shine on.
Shine on.
Welcome to the Vibrant Life Podcast. I am your host, Cassie.
I'm Audrey.
And we are so excited that you're here. Today, ladies, we have a real conversation. This one I think is prevalent and very needed. So today we are talking about living lighter and mom guilt. So letting go of the mom guilt, where it comes from, how you move through it, how to ditch it.
Most importantly, how to ditch it.
Yes. But before we dive into that, we are so excited that you are here. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I guess we'll just
Get started on mom
dive
guilt.
right in.
Heck yeah. Mom guilt.
Mom
Like,
guilt.
what is it? It's like a super real thing. It's something that I feel like probably every single mother everywhere is experience some sort of mom guilt.
Yes, and it often comes out in phrases of like, so what brought me to this is like, I experience it myself when, I'm like, oh, I gotta work instead of being with my daughter, or, if I want to go do something with my friends. So for example, a group of girlfriends and I had planned to do a Bridgerton viewing of the second half of season 3, and it was my weekend with my daughter. So as a divorced mom, I'm like, oh, I really should spend time with her, even though I have her 90% of the time, and she gets tons of one-on-one time and attention. She is very fed and watered. If she was a plant, she would be thriving.
She's a kid and she's still thriving.
She's a kid and she's still thriving. But the mom guilt was real because I was like, oh, should I get a babysitter for that? Like, it would be an automatic yes if it wasn't my weekend. But the mom guilt kicked in, and I had to sit through it. So what I mean by that is I had to really examine it and say, where is this coming from? Am I using this to mask my social anxiety? Am I, what is this? And then thinking through, like, how is it really going to impact her if she goes to a babysitter for 4 hours and I go have fun? Like,
it sounds like a win-win for me because she
Yeah.
gets 4 hours with somebody she's probably enjoys.
Well, and she ended up going to a friend's house and she's been asking to go back every day.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I think we talk ourselves into circles and we put so much on ourselves when really it's not our kids putting mom guilt on us.
It's
us.
us.
It's us.
I mean, some of that is society as well.
Well, true.
Right? The expectations of what a mom needs to do, but then
Yeah.
also, it is. It's self-imposed.
Yes.
Self-imposed mom guilt. I had a lot of mom guilt from the very beginning of my mothering career. So, career. Is it a career? It is a career.
I think
It
it's
really
a career.
is.
You got to work at it. You got to
Yeah,
show
well,
up every day.
I think the studies show that moms who are home full time, like that amount of output and work that they do compared to like somebody that's working, a really big job somewhere, it's insane the amount of productivity that a mom has compared to any other job.
And it's 24/7.
It is 24/7. Yes.
As
yes.
we talked about.
24/7.
Even when you're trying to go have fun.
Yep.
Your
Yes.
brain's spinning.
Yes.
Your
I was
brain's spinning.
coming here today and I got a phone call that I might have a sick kid and I was like, can she hang out there a few hours longer? I got a podcast to record.
Right.
She was fine when I dropped her off an hour ago.
Right. You were saying she was bouncing off the walls.
She was bouncing off the walls this morning. So I'm like, what happened? So I was like, can you just, wait an hour and see how you're doing?
Yeah.
But there is that little bit of, oh, should I go get her right now? And then it came down to, okay, she was bouncing off the walls this morning, totally fine. I asked both her and the teacher, I was like, do you want to just wait a little bit longer and see how you do? And so, yes, they agreed that that was a great plan. I haven't heard anything, and it's been an hour and a half. So,
Yeah.
let it go.
Let
Yeah,
it go.
I didn't even realize I had some this morning.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we just worked through it.
We did work through it. She's fine.
She's fine.
She's fine.
And you're fine. And it's okay for you to say, I have something I need to do.
yeah.
Because going back to that societal expectation of like, do our kids really need our constant attention?
Yeah. No.
Do they really? I mean,
No.
I know as they get older, they want less attention from us. But
Yeah.
especially in these little years, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done the research, but my
No.
inclination is no. They
No.
need attention from a village,
Yep.
not just us.
That's just it. Building a village
Yeah.
is so important.
They need attention from everyone else too.
I do think that as I've gone on with this spiritual journey, this awakening journey, I went from having mom guilt, probably the majority of momming, to now it's like a sliver here and there. So I think I've really been able to work through a lot of that, and it was intense.
Oh,
Intense. Feeling so exhausted, having kids that you're like, I should take them to the park. We should go to the zoo.
should.
And we would make all these play dates, and the play dates were half the time exhausting.
They are work for moms,
They're a lot of work,
especially
for
when they're
moms.
little and you're like meeting up
Yeah.
somewhere or at the park or like. I love this age now where it's like, just drop your kid off at my house
Yeah.
and they'll play and I'll read a book.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, that's the best kind of play date.
Yes.
I was just thinking of a good example. One time we were doing a play date, and the first play date was at my house where it was just a free-for-all. Go play. Moms will talk. That's great.
Yeah.
The next play date was at her house. It was very structured. They played this, and then they had like an arts and craft type thing. And then, I don't remember, then they went into something musical. It was like this very intense play date. And then she said to me, I just can't stand play dates where the kids do whatever and the moms just sit and talk.
Wow.
I was like, what? That's what we did at my house.
Right.
That was the
dang.
last play date. We did not see them again.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But now I'm thinking about what kind of mom guilt does she have?
right.
To
Approaching
have-
it with more grace.
Yes, to see it from a higher perspective. What
Yeah.
kind of guilt does she have that she has to put on play dates like that?
And I think some of that comes from like, I'm a Pinterest mom, but gosh, does that put on like, you're seeing the highlight reel of everyone else. And like, I was just watching a TikTok and this lady was so sweet and so cute, but she was putting together, her daughter was having a sleepover and she was putting together like a makeup bag, do it yourself activity. And so she was at Hobby Lobby and she was throwing things in the cart. I was like, that's gotta be like $300 right there.
Gosh.
Like for this one activity that your girls are going to do. And then I can't remember a time in my life that I had a structured sleepover like that. Even birthday parties when we were younger were like,
no.
come over, we'll have some cake and you guys will
Yes.
run around like feral children.
And then watch a movie and
then
maybe
watch a
you'll go to
movie.
sleep.
Right. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't this thing. And okay, this is kind of off topic, but when my daughter was like an infant, I was like, who pays for birthday parties to be at these places? And I do. I totally do.
That's okay.
Without shame. Like I am all for it. I do not want 12 feral children in my house. Like I don't want to clean for it. I don't want to, yes, take my money. How fast can I hand it to you? So like no shame.
That's a boundary.
that.
You're setting a boundary on what you're willing to experience and only what you're not.
I am, and I'm like, I'm putting my like money is less valuable to me
Yeah.
than my time and energy
Yeah.
in that instance.
No, I think that's
Yeah.
absolutely okay.
So that was just funny that I was like, of course that like obnoxious like people that don't have kids are all like the best parents,
Yeah.
They have all the opinions. Yeah,
They
that
have
was
all
me.
the great
And then I
ideas.
was like, oh, now I get it.
Oh, now I'm going to do that. I didn't have any creativity until I had Amelia. And then her first birthday party, oh my gosh, I had my Cricut out and I had rainbow everything. There was rainbows on the wall. I had giant pictures in the shape of a one from her entire first year. I made her
my
cake by hand.
gosh.
And not only did I make her cake by hand once, but I did it twice because her first birthday party got canceled because she got sick. And so I let her do the first smash cake, and then I made the cake again a week later for everyone to come over. I did like multicolored balloons like up the stairway, and everything was just decked out. And I made her an outfit.
Oh
I did
my
that for
gosh.
birthdays 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. And then I had the third kid, because I did that for both the girls. And then I had my third kid, and it was the pandemic. And I made him a sign. It was like, quarantine birthday party, please don't come. Like, and I made him a little cute shirt. That was the last Pinterest birthday party, because after that,
Yeah.
I was like, I had to grapple between continue on this thing that I had started and then just letting it go, because it didn't bring me joy and it stressed me out.
There you go.
So,
But did you have to fight through any mom guilt of letting that go?
well, that's just it. I did.
Yeah.
I had to fight through that mom guilt. And it took me a while to be like, okay, it's okay if I don't continue on this thing we've started, because it's exhausting. And
It's exhausting, and you're prioritizing yourself over that. You're looking at yourself as a whole person and saying, this one event does not define who I am as a mother.
Yeah.
And also, motherhood does not define who you are as a whole person.
No.
You are Audrey in all facets.
Yeah.
I am Cassie in all facets. I am not just mom. Like,
Yeah.
I am, and having those conversations with your kids too. Like, I've started being a lot more open with Gemma about it. Like, oh, well, mom's going to go have a play date. Like, you have a play date. And she's excited for me.
Yes.
And that's so fun that we get to be
That
excited
is
for each
so
other.
fun.
Like,
Oh, I love that.
like, she's like, oh, fun, mom. Like,
Yeah.
but then she's off doing something else. But I think also that stems from, like, since she was very, very young, you know, going to her dad's, I would be like, yes, I missed you, but I'm also so glad that you were having fun. Like, we can hold two emotions at the same time. Like,
Yes.
even when I'm not with you, I'm thinking of you and glad that you're happy, even though I'm sad that you're not with me.
Yeah.
And speaking of divorce, like, my motherhood journey also started out with just a hefty dose of mom guilt, because I was like, okay, we're not even 2 months in and already her family's falling apart, and like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst mom ever for like choosing so poorly, and gosh, like, oh my gosh, that was heavy. But I worked through it, and now I'm to a point where I'm like, no, I know I am a much better mother and a much better human in general for having gone through my divorce, or for having chosen the path that I'm on now, and we've made the most of it. And so, but that process kind of takes a while, and steps along those processes are kind of what we want to equip you with today. So just know, if you're sitting in mom guilt, if you're like, I would love to travel, the kids need me. I think that's the biggest excuse.
The kids need me.
And it's like, first question, do they really?
Do they really?
Do they really? Do they really need you? Or could, if you are married, could your spouse provide whatever need? They can get the snack just as easily. I mean, I know that's rich coming from me. I've never parented with a partner. I don't know. But in my mind, I'm
But
like,
seriously,
the dad can open the applesauce just as well as the mom can.
it's super important to set boundaries with your partner like that too.
Yes.
That you're not in charge of all the little tiny things. I am super lucky in that regard, because my husband, I feel like we've got a very good partnership where we're both doing stuff. The kids don't just come to me, where I hear other people, they're like, they only ask mom. My kids do an equal,
Nice.
a pretty fair share, I think.
Yeah. And that's probably helped lessen your mom guilt.
It makes a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Because you're
sure.
not like, the world falls apart when I leave. Which, if your world falls apart when you leave, I feel like there's maybe some bigger things going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yep. I agree.
I think we've got some bigger things to work through. Oh, another little instance of mom guilt this morning. So my daughter is going to her dad's house this weekend. So I've done 2 very busy weeks of parenting alone. And I just hit that point where I'm like, okay, we're so close. We're so close. And I do just need a break. I'm
Yes.
hitting burnout. Like, I just need a moment. I actually started counting last night how many times she said, hey, mom. And within an hour and a half, she said it 100 times. Of like, hey, mom, can you? Hey, mom, can you? Hey, mom. I was
100 times.
Oh, okay. Because I was like trying to validate for myself. And at the same time, I'm like, I love that you want to talk to me, and that we have that kind of relationship where she wants to tell me every single little thought, but also letting it be exhausting.
Yeah.
Again, having 2 feelings at once of, I love this, I love you, but also I need some silence.
I think that's another boundary issue with saying, instead of touched out, mommy's ears need a break. I need some quiet. It's okay to be like, hey, guess what? It's time to a little bit. Guess what? It's iPad time.
Yay! We did. I was like, okay, moving on. Well, and it was like, we got home, we were doing some stuff, and so then I was like, okay, shh.
It's time for quiet.
But anyway, we were like trying to get out the house this morning, and I was feeling guilty that I was like trying to rush her and like just excited to have alone time. And then I had to kind of put this in this context of like, it's okay to want to have time to myself and be a human, and that's okay, because as we said, you're not just mom.
No,
you're still Cassie, and you're still Audrey, and you're still whatever your name is, and you can have hobbies and facets of yourself that do not revolve around your children.
I didn't learn that for a long time. In fact, I think the second kid was like 18 months old, and I remember having this moment. It was like a snap where I was like, who am I? Where have I been? Like, I've been in the parenting role. And so she was 1.5. Then my older one was 3.5. So then it'd been 3.5 years where I didn't feel like myself.
Yes.
I took on that mothering role, and that was it. I was a mom, and when I was at work, I was a nurse. I didn't have any identity any longer. It was gone. And so I think that's when I kind of started to figure it out a little bit. It got with my son. That's when I was like, hello, what's happening here? Like, who am I?
Yeah.
And I had to rediscover that because I didn't actually know.
Right.
And that mom guilt, just to be so involved in your kids, which can be a good thing, but it can also be very unhealthy.
Yes.
Very unhealthy. I was thinking about when you were talking about Gemma with the Hey Moms, my kids were gone for 6 days. And I was like, I kind of miss them, like maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I kept going back to just enjoy the silence. And they came back, and it was, Mom, hey Mom, hey Mom, hey Mom, hey Mom. By all three of them, like they were rotating, hey Moms, because they wanted to tell me. They were so excited.
Like, and you love that. You're like,
I did. But then there was also a little bit of
overstimulating.
I'm ready for bedtime. Is it time for bedtime? Yes. Because it was just too much, and my brain was like,
yes.
But then I gave myself some grace. I'm like, it's okay to have two feelings at once.
That's right. It's okay.
Same thing.
And it's okay to go do the thing. So we always try to give you actionable steps. So let's we'll probably outline these a couple times, but examine the feeling.
Yep.
Where's the mom guilt coming from? What's the core? Is it a societal pressure? Is it something you're putting on yourself? Is it something from someone within your circle? Whatever the cause is, address that, identify it. You got to name it to tame it. And then really think through the benefits of the activity. If it's something like, oh, I wish I could travel, but the kids need me. Or, oh, I wish I could go to that mom's night, but the kids need me. Weigh the benefits of you going and filling up your own cup. Because just like you can't do anything, you can't be your best self at work when you've got 45 minutes of sleep. You can't be the best mom when you're done.
Running on empty.
When you're out, you are just done.
Yeah.
And
that's
that's
so
okay.
important to make sure that your cup is full first.
Yeah, and that's the benefits of having some time to yourself and releasing that mom guilt. And that builds into you deserve a life you love. Mm-hmm. You deserve to have a full life and facets of yourself that don't involve your children. And so it's up to you to build that life. Yep. There are tools like the Vibrant Life Society, like this podcast out there, and there's so many other ones to help you find the things that you love and to start incorporating those into your life. And so that's kind of step 3, which is kind of a broader one, but really embracing your whole self, choosing to be intentional with your time. And, there's that saying of like distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
I'm never more excited to see Gemma than when she's had a weekend at her dad. Like, I'm pumped to be a mom again. But
I'm so glad you were gone. Oh, I love you.
I'm so glad you were gone.
Yes.
But I'm so glad you're here.
Yes.
And it helps just give you a refresher. Yeah. So then you just got to let go of the guilt. And you can visualize it. Sometimes I'll just picture like the guilt and I'll like ball it up and like throw it. Okay. You can put it in a trash in your brain. One of my sisters gave me was like shutting the door on it. So you picture the guilt as like this big monster, almost like Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Like just shut the door on it and send it away so that it can't open again.
That's a good visualization.
I really like that.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
You could burn it. I like to burn things.
Pyro Audrey over here.
I do, because then I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm burning this on. I'm lighting this up. I'm letting it go back to the universe.
Yeah.
But I do, with work, I do that too. I put the file cabinet and I put all my clients that I love so dearly and are going through rough things. Close the door. I'm like, I gotta be done with that for now. But yeah, it's okay to do that with kids stuff too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's okay to be like, I'm just gonna set you over here for now.
Yep.
And you're gonna be good, and you're gonna have experiences without me, and that's okay.
Yep. That is absolutely
okay.
And actually, it makes a better rounded child, anyways. If they've got more people in their circle that are playing with them and loving on them and doing other things, it's good for everyone.
That's right. And you'll be excited to see them when you get back, and you'll feel lighter. And that's part of why we started this, is we wanted women to know that you are empowered to create lives you love, whether that is through hobbies that you go explore, whether that's through starting a business, whether that's, becoming a stay-at-home mom, whatever that is to you, we want to support you in that. And we think whatever you're doing, you should be able to do that lightly. Live lighter.
Yes. Live lighter.
I
love
love that.
Lift
the guilt.
Live vibrantly.
Live vibrantly. We love it. So yeah, I think those are our steps for letting mom guilt go. I hope you've heard throughout this that we still feel it, but now we have tools that help us let it go and continue lightly to live lighter throughout the day, or just we're not stuck in that muck anymore. And that's what we want for you as well.
Yep.
So
I love it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you again next week. And we have something very exciting for you coming at the end of July. So make sure you're staying tuned. And if you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation, DM us, comment. We love hearing from listeners. So yeah. We also are accepting nominations on anyone doing something awesome.
Hype girl. I was just thinking that. I was like, we did one hype girl and then we had 2 episodes without. So we need some nominations.
We need some nominations of someone in your life that is living vibrantly, who is making the world a brighter place around her, who is letting her light shine, whatever she's doing, whether that is just being an awesome friend, whether that is, something within the community. We want to share our platform and empower other women and inspire you. So send us your nominations.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning into the Vibrant Life podcast. We hope today's episode has energized and inspired you to live your best life. If you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so as to never miss an episode. And please take a moment to leave us a review. Your feedback fuels our mission to bring you more valuable content. Remember, your journey to vibrant life is ongoing. Stay connected with us on social media at Vibrant Life Society for daily tips, motivation, and community support. As we wrap up today's conversation, we encourage you to embrace each moment, pursue your passions, and prioritize your well-being. Together, let's create a life that radiates with energy and purpose. Until next time, live vibrantly. See you in our next episode.